Well, hello. Thanks for coming back to check out another video. So, I just want to quickly say before we get into this obvious deck of panning update, I got my new camera and it's fancy. It's very fancy and I like it, but I'm going to have to play around with it and fool with it and see what settings and like lighting and things like that work best. So just bear with me if my videos look a little bit off as we go forward, but I am trying. So either way, like I said, July update to the Deck of Panning Project Pan. This was a project pan that was created by Emily. Her YouTube channel name is emilynmax, and I always make sure to have her link down in my description box, as well as her introduction video, because she goes over like a really in-depth explanation on how to participate and play along with this project pan. So since this is our July update and we have been doing this is the second year that this project pan has been going on. I'm going to assume this isn't your first rodeo with this, so I'm not going to go into like how to play it and things like that. Like I said, everything you will need to like figure all of those things out is in the description box, as well as the community playlist, my playlist, all the information about like my products, the prompts, the whatevers, like just everything you could want to know. The only other thing that I want to say before we get into this update is that just remember last update, I filmed that one super early. I think I filmed it on like the 13th of the month because I was so excited about finishing off that lippy from Bite Beauty. I just could not wait. So I have had like a good bit of time, like 5-ish weeks with these products, so my usages reflect that. Like a lot of them have gotten a lot of good use on them. And then two, I am filming this on the 20th, so I don't know if I'll be able to get this up on the 20th or if you're gonna have to wait till the 21st. But yeah, I just wanted to let you know, like just remind you of that. So we will first talk about our items that are rolling out. Yes, items from this project pan. Okay, so the first item to talk about is from CoverGirl. So this was in for the prompt, your most recent purchase. This is the CoverGirl Clean Fresh Concealer. I have mine in the shade 330 Fair. I don't know if you can tell on camera, but it's a little too yellow for my liking. This offers none of the brightening effects that I typically like from a concealer. This is on the thinner side, and I also find that it doesn't really give me any coverage. Like, just all around not a good concealer. I generally like CoverGirl products, but just their concealers have been hit and miss for me, and especially like this whole Clean Fresh line. But either way, I did not have a goal to like finish this off within this project pan. Since it was my most recent purchase, I just didn't want to saddle myself with that. So I had a 30 use goal attached to this, and I have surpassed that. I just continued to use this concealer pretty much every time I did my makeup, just to make sure that I like got some good use in on it. So yeah, I'm quite happy that this will be rolling out. It's not so terrible that I need to like declutter it from my collection, but it's definitely something that I do want to possibly try to get worked out before the end of the year, just so that I don't have to fool with it and look at it, you know? All right, so the next item to talk about rolling out, this was an item that I kind of lied to you on because the prompt was a brand you only own one from, and I really thought this was my only Essence product, but it turns out I do have an eyeliner from them too. However, by the time I realized that, I had already been working on this product so much that I just decided to keep it in. So either way, it was their All About Matte Fixing Powder that I had rolled in for this prompt. Only own one of from the brand Essence. I had the goal to finish this off. Now, I believe last time you guys saw it, it had really good pan on it. And I said like, oh, I don't feel like I need to repress this. And so I just continued widening that pan until it was like a very thin ring, like around the edges. And then it broke and crumbled. And so I didn't lose any of it, thank goodness, but I decided, okay, you can either repress this or just make it into a loose powder. So I honestly just crunched it all up, what little bit of product there was left, and I finished it off as a loose powder. So this is an empty. I feel like this is a shocking, surprising empty, not one that I expected to have at this time, but I think the decision to not repress it and to instead turn it into a loose powder is what helped it go a lot quicker, because I just feel like with loose powder, I inevitably pick up more of it than I do if it's like a pressed powder. So I just used this that way, and I'm really glad to be done with this product. Again, not a favorite of mine. It's not like super terrible. I think it does a really good job of like holding up in the heat and the humidity. This was the second one that I had used up of this, but it just, I don't know, I have other pressed powders that I like a little bit better. Okay, so the last item to talk about rolling out isn't technically rolling out, but hear me out. So I have my MAC Fix Plus spray, and this was in for the prompt summer. So I really love to use this as like, I will put down my primers and then I will spray this, pat it in with a sponge, then do the rest of my makeup, and then use this as a setting spray. So each time I do my makeup, I'm using this twice. I gave myself 2 tallies, and the reason it reminds me of summer is because that first spray, like the spray over my primers, I really think that that does a good job to lock everything in and make my makeup last a bit longer than like just a normal like setting spray or not doing that step. But either way, my goal was to finish this. So when we brought this in, it was brand new up here. Then we were down to here, then here. Now we are all the way down to here on the bottle. Hopefully you can maybe see where that line is. So it's not quite done. There's still a little bit of product left in here. However, I really think that I could finish this off within like a week. So I'm just going to go ahead and say that this is rolling out. I'm going to draw a new card to replace it, but at the next update, I will come back on and show you like the official empty bottle. It's just I don't want to have like an empty slot within this project pan when it's something that I could be working on, and drawing new cards is always the fun part. So I'm sure you guys understand my decision about this, but yeah, it's not technically going anywhere. I am going to finish it off. It's just technically rolling out at this update. All right, so 2 items to update you on before we can draw our new card. So the first one, this was in for the prompt multi-purpose. So this is an ABH liquid glow highlighter in the shade Oyster. This is like the most unexciting thing to update you guys on because I don't have a scale. This packaging is super opaque, like there's no way to really mark and tell where we're at. So we're just gonna go off usages. I know there is an air bubble in this package, and I feel like once I can push the air bubble out of here, it'll be a little bit more exciting to track because then I'll be able to like fold the packaging down, you know? So yeah, that air bubble still exists. I honestly don't know how much more is left in here. I didn't look at the total uses that I've had on this since rolling it into the project before I sat down to film, but I want to say the last time that I finished one of these off, it took me like 50-ish uses. So again, I don't really know how like close we are to that, but you're gonna have seen the amount of usages on the screen, so you know, I'm thinking maybe 50. All right, so then the last item is my body spray. So the prompt that I got for this was spray. I believe this rolled in last time because I only have 2 marking lines on this. So for spray, I did choose a body spray. This is from Fortune Cookie Soap. This is their Be Kind Fine Fragrance Mist. I will try to leave scent notes on the screen for you, but this is just a really lovely, like, heavy, dark, late summer transitioning into fall kind of scent. Like it has like some honey and like pecan notes and things like that. So I just really have like enjoyed this. I will say when you first spray this on, it smells very strongly of like alcohol, but that does dissipate, and then all you're left with is that really like dark, rich, yummy kind of scent. And I feel like this does last a really good time. So again, with body sprays, typically I will spray some type of perfume, some type of spray twice a day, not necessarily the same scent in the morning as I do at night, but I really do like to, as like a final step before I go to bed, spray on a perfume and go lay down, and it just, I don't know, it makes me feel all nice and like I just like to smell good. So either way, brought this in at the last update and we were up here at this line. So it wasn't like a brand new bottle, but we have managed to work our way all the way down to here. And I believe I have something like 20 or 30 uses on this. So I know that with body sprays, I do tend to go a little bit more crazy spraying them than I do with like a standard like perfume. So, but I don't feel like I'm overusing this. I really have enjoyed this and I'm just going to keep enjoying it. And I do think that by next update, this could be rolling out. Alright, so now that I have updated you on all of the items and all of the progress, we get to shuffle our deck of cards. I do just want to let you know there is a joker in here. So as I shuffle these, I'll kind of quickly go over the game board. Now again, I never look at the game board before I sit down to film. I just feel like that keeps it a little bit more exciting for me because the number cards that are on the game board, those do get shuffled around each month. Emily tries to shuffle them on the 10th, I believe, but they will be shuffled most certainly before the 20th. Either way though, so yeah, these get shuffled around and they're just different prompts. I really have a lot of fun with the ones that I have gotten, and so yeah, the fact that these do shuffle around each month makes it a little bit more exciting to get a number card as opposed to a face card. But the face card prompts are still really like fun too. So I do like that this year they are split, and so what I mean by that is last year all the queens had the same prompt, all the kings had the same prompt, whereas like this year it's like your red aces have a certain prompt and then your black aces have a different prompt, and so on and so forth. And then of course the joker card. Now somehow I have been lucky enough to skirt the joker all year. So the joker is that are you joking me product where it is something where you're like, no, I absolutely do not want to work on this. So think like a black eyeshadow or something like that. But yeah, so there you have seen the game board. I am shuffling just a few more times. I know you guys are like so envious of my shuffling skills. Okay, so that means we get to pick 3 cards because again, even though I'm working on the MAC spray, I'm just going to go ahead and roll in a card for that. So, I'm nervous now that I talked about the Joker. I'm going to get it. Okay, Ace of Hearts. Again, hopefully you can see that. 8 of Diamonds. And let's try to go maybe from the back. Oh, 3 of Clubs. I really thought this was the Joker. Okay, let me go see what these prompts correspond to on the game board, and I will be right back. Okay, so I honestly think this was the easiest time I've ever had in having to pick out products for this project pan. So I do not recall the order that I drew the cards in. So the first one we will talk about is the 8 of Diamonds. So that corresponded to the prompt body care. Now I have to say, I know we're in summer and you guys like summer. Most of you, I'm assuming. I do not like summer. It's the worst time of the year. So I'm so ready for fall to be here, and I've already started pulling out my pumpkin scents and my other fall things. So for body care, I'm rolling in this body lotion. This is from Fortune Cookie Soap. This was part of their CYO event, which is create your own scent. So this is a scent that I blended together. I called it I'm Basic because it is nothing but pumpkins and almonds and honey and just like a standard fall scent. And I'm so here for it, so ready for it. So their whipped creams are a little bit more on the thicker side than a typical body lotion. However, these are not as thick as a Bath & Body Works body cream. So I really think that I can use this. I'm not sure if I can use it in the morning because it is quite hot and humid some days, but definitely at night I can use this as my nighttime lotion and work through it that way. This is a 4-ounce jar. I think the last time I finished off one of these, it took around maybe 15-ish uses. I'm not quite sure though. So yeah, I'm going to roll this in for the body care prompt with the goal to finish it. All right, so Ace of Hearts ended up being pick your space. So I was at a loss because I was I don't really know what I want to work on. So I picked out a product first and then related it to a space on the game board. So this is a primer that I've had and have not yet used. This is from Ole Henriksen. This is their Banana Bright Face Primer. Now I absolutely love this as an eye cream. However, the serum that they have in this line, the vitamin C serum, if I use that too consistently, once a day, but for a solid week, it starts to break out my face, and I really think it's the vitamin C that is within it. So I kind of have been not wanting to pull this out, not wanting to play around with this because I am a little bit afraid, is this going to break me out? So I'm going to put a 10 use goal on this, not something super lofty, just something enough to try this out and see if I want to wear it. So I'm relating this to the prompt winter though, because since this is the brightening banana face primer, in the fall and winter my skin very much gets dull and just kind of looking. So I feel this will be a great product to use in the winter, but I want to go ahead and test it out now so that I will know okay, come winter time, does this break me out or not? So yeah, I'm going to roll this item in with a 10 use goal. All right, so then the last card was 3 of Clubs, which was your birthstones. So I'm a little overwhelmed with eyeshadow, but this was just so easy to pick out. So I have the Emerald for May palette from BH Cosmetics from their birthstone line. I did work on this in a different project pan, so I do have quite a few pans already within this palette. These 4 shades right here already have pan on them. I ignore the pressed glitters because I really don't like them within this palette. However, I like all the other shades in here. So I think what I want to do is, since I have 4 pans on these shades, I only need 2 more pans, and then I could say I have a pan in each shade within this palette. So I think that's going to be my goal, is to hit pan in this Hard Worker shade and hit pan in this Emerald shade. Give me just a second and I'll give you a swatch of those 2 colors. Alright, so here is a swatch of those 2 colors. This is the Hard Worker shade, which is very much like a dark brown, kind of coffee colored shade. It is a shimmer shadow, not a matte shadow. And then here is the Emerald shade, which, as the name would suggest, it is just a really great emerald color. I do have quite a good dip in both of these shades. Probably more so in the Emerald shade. I don't know. Again, still fooling with the settings, so I don't know how close can I bring this in. Should we just try? there's a good view of it. So maybe you can see from this angle, like we do have two really good dips in those shades. I'm not quite sure how long it'll take to hit pan in the shimmer shades. I want to say with the Artsy AF shade, it took like 7 to 9 uses. But yeah, those are all of my items that are coming in to replace the 3 that we are rolling out. I am super excited, super happy with this update. Definitely wasn't expecting to have as big of an update as I did. So let me know down below how well you are doing. And yeah, I'm just super excited to be back to filming. I have missed you guys. So I hope you're having a good day, a good night, or a good whatever. And I will catch you in the next one. Bye.